Hello, y'all. Well, so today I'm going to be reading Passionate about Penguins from Owen, made by Owen Davey, and the company is Flying Eye Books. Owen Davey, Passionate about Penguins. Contain penguins, they're huge beaches with huge elephant seals. Contents. What are penguins by the giant birds of a feather? Gotta move on, making a meal of dinks. Self-defense, hot and cold. Born this way, ice, ice, baby. Love life, social life, little and large to scale. And the award goes to Conservation Index. What are penguins? Penguins are a group of flightless birds that split their time between land and sea. Penguins are chubby with short legs and wings shaped like feathers. They have dark feathers over their backs, a group of and pale ones on their bellies. A group of penguins can be called a waddle on land or a raft in the water, depending on which biologist you ask. There are between 17 to 20 species of penguin, and these can be split into 6 distinct groups. Crested penguins have red bills, red eyes, and yellow feathers crested on their heads like the royal penguin. Gray penguins are the king penguin and the emperor penguin. They have their beaks and colorful patches on either side of their head, like there's the king penguin. Rust-tailed penguins have long-tailed feathers that sweep the ground as they walk, like the chin-strap penguin. Black-banded penguins are named after the black band on their chest. They also have spots on their bellies and black beaks with a little white mark on them, like the Humboldt penguin. The yellow-eyed penguin is the only remaining species in this group. It is named after the distinctive coloring around its eyes. Here's the yellow-eyed penguin. Little penguins have blue-tinged feathers, and their scientific name means aduptula. Aduptula means good little diver. Here's the little penguin. Quite scary. Nom nom. Penguins are carnivores, which means they eat other animals. They hunt in the sea and commonly prey on fish. Also eats squid, lobsters, crabs, eels, and jellyfish and seahorses and shrimp-like creatures called krill. Home sweet home. The equator is an imaginary line dividing north and south of our planet. Nearly all penguins live below the equator, but Galapagos penguins sometimes venture north of it. Some species live as far as South as icy Antarctica, but penguins live in lots of other habitats, including rocky areas, beaches, and coastal forests. People often imagine penguins and polar bears hanging out together, but they would never meet in the wild. Polar bears only live in the very north of the Earth, known as the Arctic Circle. So here's a diagram. So there's the North Pole, polar region, Arctic Circle, polar region, South Pole, Antarctica. So that's the northern hemisphere, that's southern hemisphere. Most of East Africa is in this their atmosphere. Even my country, Kenya. Whoa. By design, penguins spend most of their lives in the sea. They are specially adapted to this aquatic lifestyle. Take a closer look at some of the features of this Humboldt penguin to see how these birds thrive in our oceans. Tail. Their stiff wood tails can be used to help them to help steer when swimming or balance while when walking. Feet. Their webbed feet are positioned at the back of their body to help with steering and movement in the water. The placement of the feet forces the penguin to stand in a distinctive upright position on land. Most penguins have three forward facing toes and one pointing backwards. So each toe has a claw for helping penguins to dig or grip ice and rock when on land. Well, here's a humble penguin, and there's the penguin's feet. They're webbed like ducks, black and white feathers. Having a dark back and light front is an example of countersading. Countersading is when you're sading in with your back with your background. This helps penguins hide from both predators and prey. If a penguin swims above you, its white belly blends in with the surface of the water, which looks pale from the light of the sun. If a penguin is below you, it is hard to spot its dark back against the ocean below. Body shape, and this is again to penguin, not the Humboldt penguin. Penguins have an incredibly streamlined shape in water which tapers at both ends. This helps them to move with less effort through water. Blubber. Penguins have thick layers of fat to help them keep warm even in freezing cold waters. This blubber can be several centimeters thick and can account for a third of a penguin's overall weight. Wings. They the wings are stiff and flat to act like fins. While these are useless for any attempt at flight, they make fast and agile they make penguins fast and agile in water. On land, penguins use their wings to help them balance while they walk. And that's a penguin wings and bone, and that's a pigeon wings and bones. So penguins have 12 bones. Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pigeons only have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So pigeon wings and bones are light and they have less bones so they can fly. Penguin wings and bones are big and chunky so they can swim. Suborbital gland. The ocean has a lot of salt in it, and so does the food penguins eat. Too much salt is bad for them, so they use their suborbital gland to filter excess amounts from their blood. This is secreted as a fluid from their beaks. Bones. Most birds have hollow air-filled bones to help them fly, but penguins are designed to sink. Penguins have dense skeletons, which reduces how much they naturally float and makes it easier for them to swim and dive. So I talked about that before we got into the bones part. I thought it was about the wings. Mouth. Penguins don't have teeth. Instead, they have fleshy spines on their tongues and the inside of their mouths. The spines point towards the back of the throat, which helps them swallow prey. Eyes. Their eyes are specially adapted for seeing underwater and on land. They rely on their eyesight to find food. Hook-shaped beaks. Hook-shaped beaks help penguins grab and keep hold of slippery sea creatures. Birds of a feather. The feathers that cover a bird are known collectively as its plumage. These feathers are made from keratin, just like human hair and fingernails. Feathers have a central shaft known as a rachis. There's a there's an example. So there's a diagram. Rachis and a flat area called a vein. There are various types of feathers in a penguin's plumage, each with its own look and purpose. So there's the quill, the rachis, the vein. Here are emperor penguin feathers. Contour feathers. Contour feathers are stiff outer feathers that protect the penguin skin. After feathers are and plumals are soft and fluffy and keep penguins warm. After feathers are attached to the contour feathers. Plumals. Penguin plumals are attached directly to the skin. They are more densely packed together, well, together than in other birds, which helps them keep warm in cold conditions. Phyloplumes. Phyloplumes are very small feathers with a long rachis, short barbs, and barbules at the end. Moving muscles. The muscles control the contour feathers to make them stand up on end or flatten against the penguin's body. These outer feathers have a lot of Barbie cells. Barbie cells when laid flat, Barbie cells lock the barbs together. They act like the tiles on the roof and of a house to keep water out. They can even trap a layer of air between the skin and feathers, acting like an inbuilt lid. I forgot to show you this. So there's a diagram. So there's the rachis and there's the barbs, which are straight, and the barbules are like the square ones. So when two feathers are near each other, when in the vein, when you see those fluffy bits, they're barbs and barbules. Most of them are barbs, but in between them are barbules. So you're welcome for the explaining. So here's the diagram for for the for the contoured feathers and the skin. Most penguins are not blue, but let me show you. So here's how heat passes through. Here's how they block out water. Preen and tidy. Get it? Preen and tidy. To work effectively, plants have to be clean and tidy. This is known as preening. Friends and partners sometimes preen each other, concentrating the hard-to-reach places like the head. Birds will cut their plumage regularly to keep their feathers in conditions, while most birds lose and regrow feathers. Birds gradually, penguins do it all at once. It's called a claustrophobic molt. The new feathers are not yet waterproof. The penguins are stuck on land for the few weeks it takes them to finish growing. Penguins rely on the sea for food. They don't eat for this entire time. To help them survive, penguins intentionally eat more before molt that they can bulk up and store extra fat in their bodies. This African penguin will lose nearly half of its body weight in the next 3 weeks. In the 3 weeks it takes to molt. So here's a diagram. Old feathers, new feathers. So that's an African penguin. Get a move on. Penguins are designed to be sleek and graceful in the water, but this makes them adorably awkward and clumsy looking on land. Here are some of the ways penguins get from one place to another. Waddle along. Penguins are famous for their funny upright walk. With short legs and plump bodies, they take small steps and sway from side to side, sometimes holding their wings out for balance. Surprisingly, they can waddle along at roughly the same pace as humans, and some species that can march over 100 kilometers to reach breeding grounds. Again, two penguins trekking along a penguin highway in Antarctica. Hop to it. Hey, penguins jump with both feet to wait. So there again two penguins are holding their flippers out for balance. So that's why they're walking like that. So that's why they're famous. Penguins jump with both feet together to move quickly or to cross difficult terrain. Many species can be seen jumping between rocks or skipping over cracked ice. Eastern rockhopper penguins are named after their excellent jumping abilities. Let it glide! Penguins slide along snow and ice on their bellies, using their feet and wings to move and steer. This is called tobogganing. It is a it is a quick and energy efficient mode of transport. Plus, it looks fun. An emperor penguin tobogganing on its belly, going swimmingly. Penguins are fast swimmers. They use their wings and flippers to move through the water, and their tails and feet to change direction. Despite being so adept at moving underwater, they breed like any other bird. Sooner or later, they have to come to, to the surface to grab some air. Did you know they hold the world record for this the longest breath? That was past 32 minutes. A little penguin taking a dip. The little penguin looks cool, alright. I'm not gonna lie. What is the purpose of this? What is pur, the pur, the purpose of this? Get it? A technique called purposing can be used to breathe while swimming. They speed along, constantly ju- jumping in and out of the water, grabbing lungfuls of air as they go. Porpoising is named after the leaping movement porpoises and dolphins are famous for. This technique uses a lot of energy, so it's often reserved for escaping a predator or chasing prey. This snare penguins travel with speed using the same swimming technique as porpoises. Making a meal of things. Penguins forage for food in the sea. Some species hunt in the open ocean, known as the pelagic zone, while others search along the sea floor, called the Benetic zone. Penguins may travel hundreds of kilometers in search of food. Different types of prey require different hunting techniques and strategies. Now penguins are showing for sale to steal 100% food. There's the little penguins. They have blue tinged feathers. Like the start say, a bird's eye view. How do you find food in such a vast ocean? Studies suggest that penguins look through the skies for birds like gannets and gulls. On some of this, because they fly in larger areas of the ocean at one time. It appears that penguins may sometimes follow helping find food sources. Penguins are following sword-tailed sea waters to find food. They go to the ocean to eat at night, actually. So they're the only nocturnal penguin. Ga- Game fishing. Game fishing. Game fishing. To their speed and agility, penguins are capable of catching fish and swallowing them whole. Penguins climb down and then catch fish from below as they swim back to the surface. Some fish school together, making it harder for penguins to target a single fish without the edge of the school are most vulnerable, and penguins have pick up any straggler.